Hi there, I'm Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up for Sunday, March 28th, 2021. So I wanted to start off by thanking those of you that watch these videos every week and have communicated to me how much you're enjoying them. I really appreciate the feedback, and I'm happy to do them. So I'm going to start off this week's show by talking about the current astrology, the transits that's going on right now, and channeling what I feel like everybody needs to hear about what's going on right now. I'm going to pull up my chart to illustrate what's going on, so you can have a visual as I'm talking about the different planets. And then I'm going to move into doing a 3-card reading for all 12 signs. All right, so I'm going to start sharing my screen here. All right. Okay, so here's my birth chart. Just for an illustration purposes. And then around the edge of my chart in green are the current transits. So today we have the sun at 8 degrees of Aries, conjunct Chiron at 8 degrees Aries, and Venus is now just bumped up to 9, but most of the day today she has also been at 8 degrees Aries. And then currently, as I record this, the moon is at 12, but we had a full moon earlier today at 8 degrees. So we had this. That's what a full moon is, when the moon is opposite the sun, and all these three guys are all conjunct here in Aries. So I wanted to start off talking about these aspects. So the sun in Aries, everyone has an Aries part of their chart, right? And so even if you don't have planets in Aries, you'll find that Aries represents, it's the baby of the zodiac. It's how we really feel about ourselves and how we put energy into ourselves. It's the root chakra, our connection to life. It's our passion for life, how we move forward in life. Aries is ruled by Mars. And so Mars is up here in Gemini. Um, conjunct the North Node right now. As I record this, Mars is at 14 degrees. The North Node is at 12 degrees. They're conjunct. Again, anything within 7 degrees is considered conjunct. And then the closer the degree, then the more powerful the conjunction is. So to have these three all on the same number at 8, or now that Venus has gone up to 9, they're still all very powerful and potent and all working together. So the sun illuminates things. It's our heart. It's where we bring energy into things. Now we have Chiron, this glyph that looks like a key. Chiron has been in Aries since February of 2019. So we've been just over 2 years, and it's gone retrograde. And so it's been at this 8-degree point before, but it's working out. Chiron is the wounded healer. It's where in our birth chart, so here's my Chiron in my birth chart. Wherever Chiron shows up in your birth chart is where you've had wounding in many lifetimes that usually shows up in this lifetime. And the glyph looking like a key that's just it. When we heal these areas where we feel most wounded, it becomes an area of strength. So wherever Chiron is transiting, it's working on healing this area of everyone's life. So Chiron in the early degrees of Aries has been working out how we might feel wounded in relationship to ourselves, how we show up in the world, primal wounding, like wounding we had in our childhood, wounding we have from our parents, if there's been any abandonment issues, neglect, abuse. These in our early formative years, it formed those kind of incidences form how we feel about ourselves and how we operate in the world. And so Chiron in the early degrees in Aries is helping everyone on the planet heal how they feel about themselves, right? So it's conjunct my sun here and my Mercury. It's a wider orb here. So I've been feeling this personally in terms of healing how I feel about myself showing up in the world. And I have Aries in the seventh house, which is the house of relationships with other people, primary relationships, sibling, neighbors, work relationships. Seventh house is also the house of open enemies, like people who will tell you to your face they don't like you. Whereas the 12th house is hidden enemies, those that would stab you in the back, kind of thing. It's the house of karma here, past lives. You can see I have a stellium here in Virgo in my 12th house. So this is a lot of stuff I've brought in from past lives to bring up and work out in this lifetime. So I came in to get some work done. So, and I have Libra rising, right? So this is what places my signs in all the different houses is the rising sign. So if you don't know your time of birth, you can't know what your chart is. So if you can do your time, you can do your own chart. And on another show soon, I'll show you guys how I first used astro.com. That's the website that I go to utilize their charts. And I plug in, I go into the extended chart system and I do a whole house system. There's like 30 or more different house systems, but I like a whole house system, which puts all the planets neatly in a house, which because I channel with the chart, it's easier for me just to get hits that way. So Libra rules my first house. The moon in Libra for everyone is about focusing on relationships, social justice, balance things out. So anyway, so back here to Chiron in early degrees of Aries. So healing, and at 8 degrees, it's healing even how we make decisions. Eight's a decisive degree, how we decide on things. It's the infinity number, right? As below, so above, as above, so below. To me, it's sort of the environment reflecting yourself kind of number. So Venus is our relationships. It's who we love, what we love, how we receive energies. So these three together, Sun is illuminating Venus, it's illuminating Chiron, so it's illuminating the healing aspects of Chiron, it's illuminating the beauty in Venus. And Venus and Chiron together, it's love for self. To me, this is like tender, loving healing, like just an ability to heal and shift something in a powerful way. About our relationship with ourself primarily. And this is hitting me personally as well, because I have these early degrees of Aries. And so anyone with their birthday starting this last week in March is going to feel this stellium more powerfully than others. Or if you have any planets in this area of the chart in early degrees of Aries, you will be feeling this energy more potently. Everyone, of course, feels the full moon. We feel it beforehand, we feel it afterwards. So we're still feeling the after effects of this beautiful moon. Another thing that's going on right now, we've got a beautiful trine in air from the moon here in Libra to Saturn here in Aquarius. This is at 11 degrees, and Mars up here at 14 degrees. So these three planets are making a trine with each other in air. So this is called a grand trine in air. And the air signs are about how we think about things. It rules our mind. Gemini in particular does. But it's also how we get inspired. And it's like a breath of fresh air, right? It's all air. So it's about taking a deep breath in, and the trine is between the moon, which illuminates things. It's our intuition, it's our feelings. Saturn, how we structure and organize and set up boundaries in our life. And Mars conjunct the North Node here. Mars is how we take action, it's our ego, how we put energy into things. The North Node is collectively what we're all learning. So here in Gemini, we're all learning to refocus on how we think. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is over here conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Mercury is what we think, how we communicate. It's our technology, our transportation, communication, travel. It right now, as I record this, is at 19 degrees of Pisces. Neptune, it right here is at 21 degrees. So these are conjunct as well. So this can leave here. Mercury in Pisces can be very spiritual communication. It can be psychic communication just by itself. Neptune rules Pisces. So this is very much spiritual connection, psychic connection. These two emphasized together is upping the volume on psychic connection, intuitive connection, spiritual downloads, vivid dreams, vivid psychic energy coming in, right? And so since Mars and the North Node here is in Gemini, we always kind of look to, well, who's the ruler of Gemini? It's Mercury. Mercury's over here conjunct Neptune. So there's spiritual downloads that are coming into this trine here, right? We've got intuition here emphasized as well, how we structure our things, how we take action. So this could be a time with this full moon opposite the sun in this stellium of having some aha realizations around inner healing, how we love ourselves, how we apply energy to ourselves, how we feel about ourselves primally, taking action in new ways of thinking about taking action, getting intuitive hits about how to take action, getting intuitive hits about how to structure our life, right? Also taking action on ways that'll better ourselves. These are all ways that these can be interchanging with each other. So they make what is formed, what is called a kite here. We've got the grand trine, and then right between these aspects here is the stellium. They're pointing to the stellium here, which makes a kite, right? So here is the top end of it, the kite here, making the smaller triangle here between Mars and the North Node, Saturn, and Venus and the stellium here, opposing the moon here. So this is a very powerful day, which is what I kind of just wanted to focus on, because this powerful day will linger for the rest of the week. So we've also got these resonance of the 8, right? All three of these were at 8 today. We've got Pluto at 26 degrees of Capricorn, which makes to an 8. We had the moon at 8 when it was full. We've got Vesta at 8 degrees in Virgo. We have Uranus at 8 degrees of Taurus. So there's all these harmonics of the 8 on the planet, right? So making a decision. So this today, this full moon is a powerful way to make decisions in our life based on what we've been picking up intuitively, what our dreams, our spiritual downloads have been guiding us to do, how we've been guided to restructure our lives, how we've been guided to take action in our lives right here. We've also got Jupiter in Aquarius right now. Jupiter is at 22 degrees, which is Jupiter expands whatever it's connected to. Right now, it's conjunct my Venus and my Saturn. So it's expanding the principle of love in my life, putting greater emphasis on self-love, relationships. This is my 5th house. This is the house of creativity and sexuality and children. So there's greater energy emphasis on me personally with love, with relationships, how I love myself, my relationships with other people, how I structure my time, organize my time, my children, right? Of course, I just had a birthday a couple days ago, March 26th here. And so I heard from 5 of my 6 children. So that's good. I heard from my mother and my sister and lots of wonderful friends wishing me beautiful birthday messages. So that's neither here nor there, but that's a typical Jupiter expanding the love in my life, right? Showing me that I'm loved. Pluto here at 26 degrees is conjunct right here. My south node is at 27 degrees of Capricorn. This is also where the United States natal Capricorn is at 27 degrees. So this tells me that in a past life, south node, I was involved with the formation of America. That's how I read it. Like I was one of the forefathers, or I was somehow had my finger in the mix somehow, right? So if we're having a Pluto return. I'm having this death and transformation. That's what Pluto it's also empowerment, right? That's connected to past life energy. So transforming karmic issues that I've had from the past. This is one way I look at that. So I'm just kind of showing you guys if I was doing your personal chart, I'd be pulling your birth chart up here and then looking at how these planetary aspects are impacting you personally based on what's going on with the planet. What's interesting is we just had the full moon in Libra. Moon's right here. We'll have a new moon, which will be at 22 degrees of Aries. I believe that's April 11th. In a couple of weeks from now, we'll have the new moon. So isn't that interesting how we have as the moon was full, we have all the stellium conjunct my sun, and then with the new moon, it'll be conjunct my moon. It's very interesting to me. And also, there's just interesting interplay when Venus will be at 26 degrees at the new moon. So it'll be creeping up here. It'll still be conjunct my moon, and it'll be squaring this Pluto. The new moon, for everybody, will be bringing out this Venus Pluto square. So there'll be a new transformative energy in relationships. So there's a real focus on Venus right now, and healing our relationships and drawing in new relationships. The full moon can be letting go of things, releasing, bringing things to full circle, like, okay, bringing to a full culmination. It can also be illuminating things because it's the fullness of the intuition or fullness of our feelings going on. New moons are new beginnings. So Venus is moving through Aries. Venus in Aries it's called at its detriment because it's not really comfortable here. Venus in Aries is kind of more aloof. It likes to hang by itself, it wants to figure things out alone. These are principles of like the Aries energy. When Venus moves into Taurus, which it'll do here later in April, it's more at home here. Venus is one of the rulers. Venus rules Libra and Taurus. So it'll be moving into a sign it feels more comfortable with, except that it's going to be moving into this conjunction with Uranus. Uranus is the great awakener. It's sudden, unexpected things. It can be breakdowns and breakthroughs. So Venus will be emphasized by the spiritual energy in Taurus. And I believe that Venus is exactly conjunct Uranus, which will be at 10 degrees by the time they're conjunct. It's on April 23rd, which just happens to be my youngest son, my youngest child of 6 children, his 18th birthday. So that'll be a big one for me. It'll be a big one for him. His sun will be conjunct Venus and Uranus conjunct. So that's going to be a powerful, and he turns 18. So there'll be this new journey that's starting out with Venus moving into the conjunction with Uranus next month on the 23rd. So between now and the 23rd of April, Venus will be moving through this part of the skies. And then of course she moves into Gemini, where she'll be conjuncting the North Node. So it's a very interesting transit over the next few months of Venus, with the conjunctions here. It'll be going over Aries as well. Aries is the sister of Aries, and she's been square Pluto starting, I believe it was like late last summer. She started squaring, and they're still squaring here. So this is like she is also one that stands up for rights, and she gets in there to protest and battle, and Pluto can be protesting. So this is why there have been so many like confrontations and people squaring off going on. So Venus can soften this energy when she gets here, but she will also be having this square to Pluto at the new moon, which I think is bringing out transformation, Pluto, in relationships, Venus. So over this next month, it's going to be very interesting. Relationships, I think, are highlighted. And starting with this full moon in Libra, which is, you know, about relationships as well. So I feel like if you're confused about relationship, if you're in a relationship and you're wanting to seek some insight, you should be getting that download here in the next month. And you may be having new relationships come in with the new moon uh, conjuncting Venus. You may have been letting go of relationship. Like you may have come to a conclusion today, like, oh no, I got to get myself out of this. This is not working for me. So I think there's going to be a lot of changing of the guards around relationship stuff here over the next month. New relationships coming in, relationships coming to a close. Gemini can be connections with when Venus moves into Gemini, it's like it's buzzy, it's more social, it's about our neighbors and networking and connecting with others and social communication. The Mars conjunct the North Node here is inspired action, is kind of how I'm feeling, with especially this trine going on and the activation of Neptune here. This can also be like the downside of Mercury and Pisces and Neptune and Pisces can be fuzzy thinking, delusional thinking, just not being able to get your brain online. So this can also play into Mercury here, to Mars here, and like not being clear about how to take action. If you're not taking the time to plug into the higher aspects of the Pisces, Mercury, Neptune energy, tapping into spirit, tapping into intuition, like this to me is a must. You must meditate. You must spend time with connecting with higher self, higher spirit, because otherwise the lower vibration of the mind, how the mind can just run amok, can send you off half cocked. And you could like be having accidents and running into things and doing unnecessary action, because Mars just wants to take action and get going. And if it's not well thought out, if it's not inspired by intuition, you can be having to repeat things, go back over things. Gemini's the twins. It's Jekyll and Hyde. Can be delusional thinking and inspired creative thinking as well at the same time. So this is just a powerful day. So I just really wanted to focus today on today's chart, and that we'll be feeling these effects of this grand trine and the full moon throughout the week. And as Venus is going to be conjunct, it's a great week for the sun and Chiron to have some personal healing, how you feel about yourself, how you feel about relationships, loving yourself, having a healing in relationship, having healing with yourself, having primal healing. Like this is all just, and getting insights into areas of healing is kind of what I'm seeing with this energy of the transits for this week. What's jumping out to me is most important. Uranus here in Taurus, Black Lilith is here in Taurus. Black Lilith is our deepest fears. Let's see where she is today. She is at 17. That makes to an 8 as well. So there's another 8 energy. So interesting, all the 8 energy. So I feel like this is a decision week, making decisions based on our intuition, not just what we think, but how we feel deeply, spiritually, intuitively. Go with your gut, go with your deepest intuition. I feel like everyone is psychic. We all have intuition. I'll stop sharing this. I believe everyone's psychic. We all have intuition, just like we can all see, hear, taste, and touch. And just like there are some people who are deaf or blind, there's people whose intuition is just, the volume is just turned down or off, and they have an inability to access it easily. I think everybody can work on developing intuition. The biggest obstacle to intuition is your mind, your thinking, your programming, your belief systems. It can get in the way, especially if you've been raised, say, in a religious say that your religion is thought of intuition or psychic things as a cult or of the devil or something negative, then you're going to be afraid. You're going to have a fear of connecting in with your intuition. Whereas if you were raised in an environment where intuition was relied upon, you had a very psychic mother, a very psychic father, the environment you're in was embracing of intuition and information coming in through the intuition. So the intuition, in my estimation, is the connection with the higher self, that we all have a divine self within us. It's not our brain, it's not our ego, it's the part of our soul that continues on after we put our bodies down. And the intuition is the voice of that higher self. That's how I look at it. So when we get promptings from the intuition, and it shows up different for everyone, some people are very visual, right? They see visions, they can see auras, they can see spirit guides, they can see ghosts. There's people who are feelers, right? You can feel other people's feelings, empathy, right? You can feel something's about to happen, even though you may not know what. There's your feeling body is activated. There's people who can smell smells that aren't there, and they get a smell of something and it gives them psychic information. There's telepathy, where people are reading other people's minds and knowing what people are thinking. There's psychometry, when you touch an object you get information. There's all kinds of ways that intuition can play in, and it's different for everyone. So the most important thing is to find out how intuition operates for you. Listen to that inner voice, follow that, because our inner voice, our psychic voice, is our GPS system. If we listen to our intuition and follow that, we're going to be on track, in rhythm in our lives. Whereas we override our intuition by logical thinking, rational thinking, fear, being afraid to tap into our intuition, we don't have this wonderful, valuable tool to use for our life. So I just encourage everyone to work on developing your own intuition. And that can just be by setting the intention every day. Okay, what today do I feel guided to do? What do I feel drawn to do? What would bring me joy to do? What am I feeling? And noticing when intuition shows up. Very often we notice intuition when we've overrode our intuition. We get a gut feeling that says, don't go to that party, don't do this. And we, like logical, rational, we override it and we go ahead and do it anyway, force ourselves to do it. And, say we got this gut feeling not to go to a party, and your intuition just keeps telling you, oh, there's something wrong here. And your logical mind goes, but I want to go be with my friends and I want to go, but there's something that's resonating in your gut as resistance, or in your heart as resistance, or in your third eye, or behind your neck. It can show up in different places in your body too. The intuition signals are different from different people. Some people get like nauseous stomach. Other people start feeling like heart palpitation when they're getting psychic information. Again, it shows up differently. Some people will feel tingling. So, but if you feel like a feeling of dread, it shows, like if you're getting a block or a no, it'll show up in some sort of heaviness, resistance, an ache. Again, it shows up differently for everybody, but like for me, it's like this sort of dread feeling, like ugh, or a heaviness, or just sometimes I'll get a clear no, no. It used to be a lot more fuzzy for me. Like I didn't know the difference between what my mind and my thinking and my programming was and what my intuition was saying. It just seemed it was all mixed together in a mixed up soup, and I wasn't clear about it. But the more I really tried to focus on just listening to intuition, and separating out the difference of what it feels like when I get intuitive information. Like I will often get goosebumps, or an electric energy. Sometimes I feel it moving into the top of my head. I'll feel energy, sometimes like goosey bumps on the side of my face or down my arms. And so when I have that flow, that energy moving, I know I'm getting psychic information. I'm getting intuitive information, whatever's being said at that moment. It catches my attention. This is a yes, this is very powerful. And then conversely, if I'm getting this dread or heaviness or resistance, it's a no or a stop, check in. So just want to throw that out there for those of you that are interested in developing your abilities. Just like musical abilities, you can have musical abilities, but if you don't ever pick up an instrument and start playing it, or singing or beating on a drum, or you'll never know, you'll never be able to develop it. It's like artistic creative abilities. I see clients all the time with, say, writing ability, artistic creative abilities, but they are blocked in some way, and so they're not doing their creative thing that I get a hit that they're talented at, whether it's writing or drawing or painting or whatever. And a lot of times it's because someone told them that they were not good at it, a teacher or a parent or a sibling or a peer in some form of fashion negated them. So they just, oh, well, I'm not good at that. So then people don't try. So I invite you to open up to your intuition, to let it guide you in your life, to check in with it every day throughout the day and run it past you. And journal, take notes of when, like, you get a hit on someone and then they call, oh my god, I was just thinking about them. Note to self, like, what's going on? I was just thinking of them and then they called me. How weird is that? Or when you override your intuition, like, I knew it wasn't time to go to the grocery store, I was getting a no, but I was forcing myself to go, and I had a wreck on the way. Like, I didn't listen to my gut, and it showed up in a negative way. Because if we're paying attention, then the next time we won't override it, right? If, like, oh yeah, no, I got that. I should have listened to myself. And so anyway, I'm going to throw that out there for your intuitive psychic lesson for the day, for the week. And then I'm going to move on to doing 3-card readings for all 12 signs. Now, this is for your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or if you have a stellium. We'll start with Aries. So, again, if you don't know your time of birth, you can still look at an ephemeris and see where planets are. You won't know the exact placement of the moon, because sometimes the moon will change signs in a day. So if you were born in the morning, say, a moon sign may be different than what it would be if you were born in the evening. And you will not know your rising sign if you don't know the time. But you can find out where all the other planets are placed by looking at an ephemeris on the day you were born. That may go right over a lot of your head. Or you can connect with me and get a reading, and I'll be glad to tell you what those things are. All right. So we're going to do Aries, sun, moon, rising, and stelliums. So I'll also be putting the timestamp underneath this video. I usually publish it first and then go back and watch the video and find out when I start each sign. So I'll be putting those in the next day or so. I'll probably stay up later tonight and do it. But depending on how quickly you watch these videos once I publish them, they may or may not have the stamps on them yet. All right, Aries. Doing like a past, current, and near future. I'll draw extra cards if I need to. Okay, recent past for the Aries. This is the moment to moment card. So this is the card that really represents tuning in to each day, each moment, and like, what today do I feel guided to do? What do I feel like I need to do just this moment? It's like following the breadcrumbs. So Aries, recent past, there's been something where you've been trying to tune in, trying to meditate, trying to have productive days, trying to just be in the now and focus on now. It feels like you may have been like giving up social media or trying to, do things that it feels like there's been planting seeds and things growing too. So you may have been out there like I was this week in the garden planting things, but it's really feeling like you're at a good place with yourself right now. that you're doing the best you can. You're working hard. You're not perfect yet, but you feel like you're at least in motion, that you've been making progress. You're happy with your achievements. That's what I'm getting for Reset Past for the Aries. Right now is the Innocence card. This is the grandfather with the wisdom. This is, breaking it down. It also can be the card of seeking out guidance, really wanting to understand, maybe reading or watching YouTube videos or listening to books on tape from masters, even ascended masters. There could be this downloading that you're getting from your spirit guides where you're just getting some great information, some great intel is being downloaded. If you just drop open, the answers are right there for you. I'm also getting these beautiful flowers here in this card. So there's just a focus on beauty, flowers. Were a birthday gift from a dear friend for me. But it's stopping to like smell the flowers, stopping to take in the beauty of your life, like realizing that you've come a long way, that you're in a good place, you're open to learning new things. You've found sources of information, you found your teachers, is what it feels like. Okay, so the near future is the Sorrow card. So this may be struggling with, going back to the Chiron energy, Aries, that you're healing some old wounds, you're having some old grief come up. It could be current grief. Might be connected to someone who's having a hard time right now. It feels more connected to the self, though. I think for most Aries, it's more about like repressed old sadness coming up and leaving your system. It feels like it's a clearing of sorrow energy, of just this clearing of heaviness and darkness. It also may be some sadness that's connected to someone that you can't connect with, someone that may be far away. And the reason I said that is the other card that I drew with the sorrow card is the traveling card. So this could be someone who is far away from you, or that you'd like to travel to see, you'd like to connect. I do feel like there's travel coming up for the Aries. And so this also could be symbolic traveling, like a journey that lies ahead, which is going to have some dips and ups. There's some literal travel that Aries are going to be doing, planning trips, going ahead and going on a new adventure. But being sad about someone who's far away, you may hear news of someone who's passed or who's struggling here in the near future. The sorrow doesn't feel like it's going to be around for a long time, though. So it feels like it's that's why it makes me feel like it's more of a purging of it, like something coming up and out. And then you feel like you have more room. But you may need to like go and have a face-to-face with someone that maybe there's some dread around it, some impending doom, but that you'll actually feel better if you have the conversation, or if you have a face-to-face and you air some things that may involve you saying things that are difficult. I feel like sometimes Aries, when they are talking about something that's close to the vest, it can come up with tears. Even if you're not necessarily feeling sad, just to share something close to the bone can bring up tears. So that's what I'm getting for the Aries. It does feel like you're in a really good place in your life right now. You've got your teachers, you've got wisdom coming in, and there's a cool trip that's going to be happening. I think it's within the next 8 weeks, in the next 2 months, that there's a trip that Aries are taking that feels like a wonderful adventure and something sad. And so just be gentle and nurturing with yourself here in the near future with some of the sorrow energy that could be coming up and out. Okay, Taurus. People ask me how long I shuffle for. Till it feels done. It's an intuitive thing. I don't have a number that I count. I just feel it out. I'm going to really stir up the cards, make sure the energy's clear for the Tauruses. All right, it's like another 4 card instead of 3. Take a swig of my sparkling water. Okay, the recent past, Taurus, is the politics card. So a politician is someone who shows you 2 different faces, neither one of which are who they really are. So it could be trying to find the truth out with someone in your life, like feeling like you may be being lied to, someone's not being completely honest. It may have caused a stomach upset. This is like a snake, but I can also see this as the intestines and as like something that's like just didn't feel good and may have hit you. Is that doesn't feel like the truth. So there's definitely dealing with like honesty or delusion, or dealing with someone who's delusional, who's not in their right mind. So this is in the past, this has already happened, but it feels like it's still lingering. You're still thinking about it. And there's really nothing, if it's someone else, there's really nothing you can do except note to self. You may want to distance yourself from someone that feels toxic so that you don't have to see them again. But there's definitely been some negative stuff that have come up in relationship to someone else or something else that's made you just go, oh, it could even be like the TV and you're just tired of hearing the news. And so you're getting a hit to like stop watching TV or stop watching the news, like disconnect from that. Maybe that kind of a signal too. It may not be some on a personal level. It's going to be different for each Taurus, but this is the energy in the past. The energy right now is the transformation card. So there's some wonderful, wonderful, incredible shifting and downloads that's happening for you right now. You're in the middle of like this great awakening, this great career breakthrough, great insights maybe coming in your dreams, psychic downloads. It feels like you're on and just bringing your best self to the table right now and feeling like your life's just getting better. So some of this toxic energy in the recent past may also be someone who's sort of jealous of what's going on for you in your life, and trying to take you down because they can sense, because it feels like anyone around you right now, Taurus, can see great things are happening. There's shifts. There's maybe moving into a new home or moving up the career ladder, or you've just gotten a new job or something where you're just feeling your best self and things are just going to keep getting better. The conditioning card is sitting here in the near future. So this story is this lion gets lost his cub and falls in with a pack of sheep. And so his whole life he's around sheep. And long story short, one day another lion spots him and calls to him to follow him. And he sees his reflection in a nearby water source. And he realizes that he's a lion, that he's not a sheep. So this card shows up when you're in an environment that is not conducive to you. It's people that are not the right reflection of you. It's a situation that's not really. It could also just be getting used to a new environment where it doesn't, like, you don't know, if you just moved, you don't know your neighbors yet. So it just maybe feel disconcerting right now, and you don't feel like you can just go knock and ask for butter next door, or you're just in a new job and you're not quite sure how people are seeing you. It could be that kind of insecurity coming up, or it could be a direct signal. You need to separate yourself from this group of people, this place, this situation. And even if you're not getting positive feedback, believing in yourself. It's always a message that you're greater than you think you are, and that to listen to your own intuition and listen to the beat of your own drummer, in terms of how you're taking action in your life. With this is the Master card coming up. So this is definitely about not being afraid to be your best self. Like, in this transformation process that you're going through right now, Taurus, you may be transforming your circle of friends. You may be transforming what's going on around you, and that can feel disconcerting, but you're on the right path, Taurus. I feel like you're lined up. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Things may be shifting around you. As long as you're checking in with yourself and it's feeling right in your gut, it's right for you. So don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry what other people say. Just listen to your own downloads and know if it's feeling right with you, it is right. All right. Geminis. Because Mars is in your sign, Gemini, you may be definitely taking action in things that you've just been thinking about before. Geminis can definitely get lost in their mind because they're ruled by Mercury, which rules that head, rules the thinking. But with Mars in your sign, it's easier to take action right now. So jump on that energy of getting things done and moving your life forward. Everybody's getting 4 cards today instead of 3. I said 3, but really it's 4. Okay, participation card is recent past. So this is working with others. This could be connecting in collaborative projects. It could be online or in person. This could be, working with the band, working with a group of people, working together, family work. But it's definitely working with others here in the recent past, having to take others into account. And bring your piece and it feels like in some situations everybody's all hands on deck and it's been cohesive and people are working together. In other Gemini situations, it's like it's not cohesive. People aren't all pulling their fair share. They're not doing their job. So there's been some issues about not everybody showing up, suiting up and showing up and bringing their best self in some cases. Okay. Right now is the intensity card. So this is about focused energy. It's about getting clear, being able to put your energies where you feel guided to be putting them. This is, again, intuition guiding things, feeling inspired to take action, clear about direction. Again, so when Geminis get clear, again, this feels like this Mars energy that I was just talking about, that you can actually put things into motion, because Geminis can get caught up just batting it between the committee of within the two heads going, oh, maybe this, maybe that, maybe, oh, well, I think about this. No, but I also see this, it's like batting it back and forth. But when you get clear about direction, when you let the intuition guide you, kind of bypass that committee, you can take action, really move your life forward right now. So it feels like that this is an exciting time. This is a time that you can move your life forward, feel like you're accomplishing your goals, that you have the energy to put towards things, that you're not feeling like offline. You actually feel like you can address what you feel guided. There's just feeling on right now, feeling being positive, clear. Other people may be going, you may be the one that you call someone and they'll say, I was just thinking about you, because you're sending out such clear energy that other people may be picking up on you as well. Okay, the near future is the comparison card. This is the card that is like the oak tree cannot be the bamboo cannot be the oak tree. You can't compare yourself to other people. You can only compare yourself to how you were yesterday or last year. And so again, this is not worrying about what other people think. It's also a warning not to think you're too old, or you're not smart enough, or you don't have enough education, or it's somehow where you can limit yourself if you are comparing yourself. Well, if I was younger, I would do that. Or if I had gone to school, I could do that. Like it's some way where you may be limiting yourself. Again, the head gets up there and gives you information that's not exactly accurate. So watch out for that in the near future, of like some false evidence appearing real, the fear showing up that may be blocking you in just right around the bend. The antidote for that is tuning into the intuition. The beyond illusion is this third eye opening. This is getting the insight, getting psychic downloads, getting psychic direction. Again, if it's feeling right intuitively, and it's resonating with a positive energy, it's the right thing. Even if you're not getting feedback from others, hey, that's the right thing. All you have to do is get it right with you and take the action that you feel guided to do just today. And if you're doing that every day, you're going to be on track. So there's definitely, and this could be, so I feel like Geminis can be having some real inspired writing of all kinds. You know, you may be writing that great American novel, or you may be writing plans, you may be writing lyrics. I feel like there's some inspired writing going on with Geminis here in the near future. All right, Cancers. Sweet little Cancer friends. Yeah, consistently being 4-card readings today. Interesting. All right, recent past. Cancer is the adventure card. So this is stepping into something that you didn't know where it was going to take you, but it's a journey has begun, an adventure has begun already. This is recent past. So this is something you've already started doing. You just felt guided to, you were listening to intuition. This feels right. I'm going to follow this. And it could be even a childhood dream that you started. There's an inner child or something, helping a child begin something as well. I'm seeing the child in this picture too. So this could be representing one of your children as well, having something new open up for them, or something opening up for your inner child that feels wonderful, something maybe you always wanted to do as a child that now you're being able to do in some way. It's feeling better about yourself too, and not feeling, it feels like you've removed some heavy feelings from childhood too. Right now is the Fool card. And this is not about being foolish. This is about the Fool steps off the cliff, and because he feels guided to, right? Feels right for him. He's going to throw himself in completely, even if someone else might think he's the fool. Again, this is about things feel right for me. I'm going to go for this. This is going out on a limb. This is positive. This is a new venture. I'm going to do this. This feels right. I'm going to go for this. Again, it's following the heart. And I also get that there can be some downloads in your dreams, inspired visions. Just it feels like you're being carried by spirit right now. Near future, you have the Sorrow card like the Aries did. So you may also be having some old stuff come up, some grief come up and out, sadness about, it can be like having to, there's the new vision card is coming with this card. So there'll be maybe something new that's being launched in your life. There's definitely something new that's being launched in your life. And there may be some just sorrow around leaving the old behind, even if the new's better. New change can feel disconcerting. So it can be some of that. It can be that you've lost a loved one and you're grieving. But it feels to me like it's, again, old grief, not new grief. You're just experiencing it here in the near future. But again, it's short-lived. It may just be a brief, I need a few moments to just cry it out. It feels to me like you're releasing heavy ways that you've thought about yourself, or something that's been weighing on you, that you've started something new and some of the shifting has happened. I'm getting an analogy of someone who's like decided to start eating more healthy and exercising, then they've losing weight. And so with the weight loss, even though they're feeling better in their body, there's the grief that's coming up, the feelings that they were eating over, or the lack of action that they were taking before. And now they're moving, they're getting things stirred up. They're stirring up some of the old negative ways had they felt about themselves. Or again, someone they may have lost it, it just bubbles up. They're feeling good about yourself, but all of a sudden you think of you know, your father or your mother or your sister, your brother, your friend who's passed, and there's a grief there. There also could be, I feel like, with the new vision card, some communication coming in with loved ones that have crossed, which kind of is that makes you feel better. Like if you get some information from these beautiful people on the other side, it's heartwarming and you can feel better. Because really, when someone's passed, we're sorry, we're sad for ourselves, usually more than we're sad for them, because they're relieved of the burden of the ego and the struggle that this life on this planet can bring. It's an intense place here on Earth. It's a school. I feel like we're here to learn and grow and evolve as souls, is why we came in. All right. Go to the Leos now. The mighty lions. Or the pussycats. The Leos can go from the lion that's getting everyone's attention and inspiring everybody, leading others. It could be the kitty cat that's curled up on your lap, purring. All right. The extra one here under the burden card is coming up for recent past. This is feeling heavy, exhausted, taking care of someone else. Just like it could be debt that's been weighing you down. It could be physical weight that's weighing down, like responsibilities, someone else that you're having to take care of. It just feels like it's been heavy. It's been hard to move through space recently. I pulled an extra card here too. The source card though came up as the extra card here with the recent past. So even though there's been some heavy things, I do feel like that there's been some inspired energy coming in, some evidence that spirit has you, that higher power is being involved, and there may have been a realization that you've had too, that if you're trying to do too much by yourself, that you need to turn more over to higher power. You may have had that realization already here, Leos, in the recent past. The Rebel is the card that's representing you right now. The Rebel is one who's breaking through the chains that have bound them. So this can be chains that you've put on yourself, ways that you've held yourself back. It can be where society is drawn a boundary that says no, and you know, like, this is wrong. I'm going to fight for what's right. It's not just being rebellious to be like a teenage rebel. It's about breaking through chains of limitation. So I'm not going to limit myself in this way anymore. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be burdened anymore. I'm going to break through. I'm going to take action. That's what the energy that's going on right now. Near future, this is one of the best cards in the deck. This is the We Are the World card, which indicates the ultimate in potentiality, right? Connections with people all over the world. It can mean global travel. It's like anything's possible is what this card means. So it's good news, good signs, getting what you need, getting the resources that you need coming in, getting the connections, the friendships coming together that you need, feeling a part of a greater whole. This is a powerful energy, powerful card. It's like good news, happy times, connections with others are ahead for the Leos. Virgos are next. Okay, recent past for the Virgos, the understanding card. This is getting the insight that you needed, the aha, like getting the bird has been in the cage and now he gets to leave and fly with the other birds freely. So this is card that indicates getting an aha, understanding is the card. So, oh, okay, I get it now. I see. I see how I've limited myself. I see a situation more clearly. I've gotten insight. I've gotten guidance. I feel better about, I'm looking at it differently. Like this is the energy from the recent past, is like there's been a shift in the way you perceive something. You get something in a deeper level, a greater, higher spiritual clarity has come in for you. The Harmony card is representing you right now. So this is a beautiful card. It can mean that you're in a relationship where you're feeling the harmony, because it's right now. It can be you intuiting this activation with the third eye, a relationship that's very psychic. So you may be tuning into someone that's not with you, but feeling the double dolphin, the the connection in spirit, the heart connection here, and the mind. So it's definitely heart and intuition together of something that's feeling right. It can even just feeling right within yourself and being in harmony and feeling like, you're doing good things for you. You're doing your spiritual practices. You're eating more healthy. You're being around people with positive energy. You're having greater insight into things. Your psychic sight is growing. But it's very strong psychic energies happening right now for the Virgos. There's definitely hits on other people and a beautiful harmonious energy tuning into others, like knowing who needs help, knowing who's thinking about you. Yeah, very psychic right now, the Virgo energy is, which is nice because Virgos, like the Geminis, can be ruled by their heads, by their thoughts. And so if you can drop into heart and drop into intuition, you can feel better. So, and it looks like that's what you're doing. That may be some of the insight that you just received, some of the understanding that you got is like, oh, I just like need to meditate more, and then I'm not stuck in my head. Near future is the rebel for you too. So this is taking action, breaking through chains that have bound you. Like, I'm going to do this now. Get out of my way. I don't care what you think. If you get your clear direction, then you can take action towards it. And this is not about hurting other people's feelings. This is about owning your power. And I have to do this. And if someone's trying to stop you, you're going to break through that. You're going to do what feels right for you. Even if someone else thinks you're a rebel in doing it, if it's feeling right for you. To me, there's such like clarity and understanding with yourself right now that I don't think you're even bothered if someone else wants to feel negatively about how you're taking action. It's like, oh, well, that's your problem. Your opinion is none of my business, kind of thing. Even if it's your opinion of me, it's none of my business. So this is solid sense of self, a connection with spirit and psychic voice that feels very powerful right now, Virgos. Well done. All right, Libras. Just had the full moon in your sign. So you may be feeling extra tired, extra activated, have extra vivid dreams. Have your intuition be very much on. Okay. So the Harmony card is coming up for you in the recent past. So again, connection to heart, connection to intuition, tapping into loved ones, people that are not with you, but you can get a psychic hit. Like if it's someone that you've already been in a deep relationship with at some point in the past, there's usually karmic ties and cords. When you've affected someone's life deeply, they've affected you deeply, you're psychically connected for the rest of this lifetime, sometime into many, many lifetimes. But so this is definitely a deep, deep psychic connection. And so you can know that if you're thinking of them, they're thinking of you. That's what feels like it's been going on, is that there's been psychic awareness on both sides. It feels like both sides are aware that the other one is tuned in. So it feels pleasant. It doesn't feel unpleasant. It's like a comfort in knowing that that person is as near as you putting your attention to them, and then the connection is there. So it feels like it's been that kind of a situation where you've been aware of that in the recent past. The no thingness card is you right now. So this is uh, no thingness. So this is a blank, clean slate. This is a new beginning. This is starting something new. This is erasing negative programming and starting something new. Like you're going to start writing in your journal every day. You're going to start this new exercise program. You're going to start a new relationship. You're going to start a new way of behaving. Or there's a fresh new beginning energy going on right now, Libras, that feels exciting. This is a blank canvas. You can paint whatever you want to on it. You're free to create what you want. And it does feel like there's a lot of creative juices coming up for Libra. So pick up the instrument and play, turn on the music and dance, pull out the sketchbook and draw, get in the kitchen and cook, get in the garden and there's multiple mediums that you could be picked up, and it feels like it's a definite time to be creative and to do something new, because I feel like in doing something creative you can get some downloads to more information that you've been seeking. Near future is the burden card. So this is maybe up against an obstacle in some way, taking on something, having to help someone else out, carrying someone else along. To me, it's about having something that feels heavy. And the second card I drew for this is the playfulness card. So the antidote to this heavy feeling is to lighten up, find a way to find the humor in it, find a way to laugh about it. Try to refocus instead of focusing on this thing that's bringing you burden or making you feel weighed down or making you feel heavy. How can you enjoy your life? How can you have fun today? How can you make yourself laugh? Be around the people that make you laugh? Like it feels like there's laughter and good humor and seeking out the people that bring you joy. And noticing the difference between people and situations that make you feel heavy and burden, and then the ones that lift your spirit and bring you joy. Yeah, that's what I'm getting for the Libras right now. Scorpios. The deep, dark waters of Scorpio. Right. The going with the flow card is recent past for the Scorpios. This is like things feeling like they're flowing and like there's a groove going on, and that you feel like you've been in rhythm and things have been coming together and the universe has been supplying what you needed. And maybe you've gotten to take a break. Maybe you've gotten to literally get to float or be on or around water. But it feels like it's a time where you're like, been relieved of stress. Not that stress isn't around, but you're like, I can't tune into that. I'm gonna go soak in the tub. I'm gonna go. It feels like you've been nurturing yourself, that you've been letting yourself feel carried by spirit. In fact, there's a strong spiritual energy with the Scorpios right now, because the consciousness card, or I called this the Buddha card, coming up here, is all about plugging into your Buddha nature, plugging into the divine within, doing spiritual practices, feeling like you're getting spiritual downloads and guidance, seeking out other spiritual masters and for other people that have a spiritual message or spiritual vibe. This is feeling empowered, but not in an ego way. This is a very centered spiritual energy. So it's very powerful, very positive. Feels like it's been this beautiful energy recently, and now Scorpios. It's right there below the surface to plug into at any moment. And it feels like you've been doing that more and doing that better and doing that more quickly than letting yourself get frayed or fragmented by the world. You're bringing a more solid sense of self forward. Near future is the possibilities card. So this may be planning a trip, just be opening up for new things coming in. You might get some surprise, beautiful offer. There's just more color coming into your life. There could be someone new about to come into your life, someone that has a greater sense of spiritual insight, like you're more drawn to things spiritual right now. So this could be a new person that's on the same path that you are, that's seeking the same kind of things that you're seeking. Opportunities. It's possibilities, it's openness, it's good things coming here in the near future for the Scorpios. So insights, guidance. This is definitely a week for downloads for Scorpios. Write it down. Write down what you get this week. So weeks when you're not as clear, you can refer back to your notes. All righty. Sagittarius. Okay. Recent past for you is the Buddha card. So this is spiritual practices, tapping into your Buddha nature, listening to spirit guides, spiritual information, reading spiritual books, just getting a sense of your place in all things. Yeah, this is a strong intuition flowing in. A higher self, a spiritual flow that's coming in that that's been feeling very powerful. You may feel sort of out of your body at times because it feels so strong. The energy feels like it's been really strong. Feeling more optimistic and just knowing that you're safe, knowing that you're okay, knowing that there's a greater energy, greater power in your life. So this is very, very positive. The completion card is coming up for you right now, Sagittarius. And so this is like bringing something to an ending. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm finished with this, finished with you. Solving a puzzle, something that you didn't have understanding around. You're getting, oh, okay, now I see, putting the pieces together, helping someone else solve a problem. These are the energies that are going on right now for the Sagittarius that feel like it's completion. It's done. Like, thankfully, let's put the nail in it. Just put the last piece of the puzzle together, and we're done here. Near future is the compromise card. So this is a heads up. Watch out for situations where you feel like you're going against your intuition. Someone, some situation, some place, something just doesn't feel right. Feels like it's a compromise. Feels like you're settling in some way, or it's not, something doesn't sit right. So you got the trust card is coming up with it. So you've got to trust your own gut, your own intuition, trust yourself, trust spirit around this, that you don't have to settle, you don't have to compromise, you don't have to be in a situation that doesn't feel right, that there's a way out, a way around it. Breathing deeply and trusting is the key. So this is about planting in spirit, like you've already gotten some information, some messages, knowing that when you turn it over, that things work out. You've made it through 100% of your worst days ever so far. So whatever might be coming, and it may not even be you, may be worried about someone else. Someone else might be compromising. You have to trust that divine right things are happening for them as well. If you can get in there and help them, you may feel guided to. If not, you may just feel guided to offer prayer, because it feels like that may be part of what the Buddha cards, you may have been praying for others. You may have been chanting for them. You may have been sending others spiritual energy. Yeah. And prayers are being answered for sure. For sure, for the Sagittarius. All right, Capricorns. All right, the abundance card is coming in recently for the Capricorns. Did you get your stimulus check? That may be what it is. You've been flowing in abundance. So this is not just money. It's can be good friends. It's just feeling good fortune. It's having your needs met, being able to appreciate what you do have in your life. You have a job, you have what you need, you have a house, you have people that love you. It just feels like it's an abundance of riches here, Capricorns, that you've just been feeling blessed recently. So, and there's a happy energy going on as well, and a sense of relief too. Could have been some drug use as well. I see like purple cloud that this guy's sitting on. So some people maybe some smoking some happy juju stuff as well, maybe going on to for some of the Capricorns. But things are lush, things are green, things have been good. The rebel card seems to be the theme for the day, is representing you right now. So, but Capricorns are usually ones that do break through, do take this is kind of your nature always, is the rebel, like, get out of my way, I'm going to do it. If you can't do it, I'll do it. You can't stop me, you can't tell me no if I feel like it's a yes. There's a beautiful, strong, powerful energy that you're bringing to your light. I'm going to go after this. This feels right for me. It may also be reading like insights, guidance is coming in too. I get this strong download energy too with Capricorns, that you've been feeling sort of guided or led by the universe. You've been being shown signs, is what it feels like. And the integration, this is one of my psychic cards, is here in the near future. This is like integrating your intuition, your psychic self with everything else that you've got going on. So the very strong psychic information coming in. You may actually be seeking someone that is intuitive and pulling that information, what they are sharing with you, pulling that into account in consideration. But it's definitely strong activation of psychic abilities within yourself and confirmation without. I feel like it's both things. I feel like you're getting a strong intuition that's getting confirmed externally as well, very strongly. So things feel very strong and very powerful for the Capricorns this week. It's a good week, great week for insights, downloads, taking action towards the things that you've been wanting to take action towards. And Aquarius is next. Oh, the abundance card was falling out again. Very nice. Traveling card is coming up as a recent past. So this could literally, you've been traveling. It can be symbolically that you've been on a journey, and you've come a long way, baby, is what it feels like for the Aquarius. You could be away from people that you love or wanting to head away. This is recent past. So, but it feels like it's been a positive energy. If you've gotten to travel literally, it feels like it's been a good thing. It's been revealing lots of insights that you've had. It feels like you've been spending time more alone, more solitude energy I'm getting, Aquarius. So again, this traveling could be symbolic of your spiritual journey that you've been on, your journey to transform or heal something, just the great awakening of your soul. The rebirth card is representing you right now. So you're definitely in a transformation process. You've gone from sedentary to being angry to softening and feeling the spirit and the childlike nature and the music playing. Yeah, you've been working hard, Aquarians. It feels like that you've been it feels like you've been really going through it. Um, but you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel now. It's like, oh, the light's coming out. You can stop and take a breath. Like, you're okay. Your needs are being taken care of somehow, some way, some shape, some form or fashion. It feels like even if you've been having there may be physical body stuff going on, but you're feeling good in your spirit. You're being able to put things into perspective, being able to shift your attitude. And in the near future is the Wheel of the World card. So this is more travel, some international travel, international connection. It's There are no limitations. This is like knowing that you can create whatever, if you can conceive of it, you can manifest it, you can create it for your life and your world. So this is a very empowered, very powerful card, and it feels like you need this inspiration, because I feel like underneath these positive cards has been sort of a darker times, like a dark night of the soul kind of energy that's been going on, and things have not been so easy. It's been a journey. It's been rough. It's been times when you feel like you can't get off the couch. But now you've got some energy in motion. You're feeling better. You're feeling more optimistic. Things are opening and expanding for you. There's good things coming, new people coming into your life. Um, and I'm really getting an emphasis on music. So playing music and dancing, whether that's playing music yourself or playing a CD or playing the radio, going out to hear live music, there's definitely like a music activation that feels super positive and on the plate for the Aquarians this week. And then we have the Pisces, sensitive Pisces. Feels like there's been like a heavy struggle going on for the Pisces too. So the completion card is showing up in the recent past. So this is you drawing a conclusion, putting an end to something. That's the last time I'm going to do that. I can't do this anymore. Like feeling like, oh, okay, I got to stop this. This is recent past, or ending a relationship, or having a realization where you finally put the last piece in, something you didn't know. Um, to me, I also feel like you may have already drawn a conclusion. Here's another piece of it. Like, no, I already got this puzzle together. You don't, I don't already know. I already know. Um, it's being pretty clear about something here in the recent past. Third eye, it's interesting to me that the puzzle piece is here in the third eye. So there's like some insight that has just come in. The card that's representing you right now is the schizophrenia card, which usually comes up when you're feeling torn down the middle, like you have a choice, you have a decision to make, you're feeling split, torn between two sides. I don't know, should I go this, should I go this way? Schizophrenia can often show up when it's time to separate out of a relationship, when it's time to do a move away from something, when you're in the middle of a moving process, because you can just feel stretched to the brim and you think you're going to go cray cray, but you won't. But I feel like this could happen in a relationship, Pisces, because the fighting card is here in the near future. So this could be like, I've got to get away from this person that's making me feel crazy. I can't do this struggle anymore. I won't do this struggle anymore. You may be engaged in a battle or a fight with someone. And even if it's on an energetic level, that it's not a literal fighting, you may be, it feels like a chess match. And it also can be inner fighting, struggling with yourself. Like if you're feeling like, if there's substance abuse, or if there's food addiction or relationship addiction, you maybe have been wrestling with this for a while and being angry with yourself because you're still struggling with it, kind of a thing. I get that energy around it. The Fool card is the extra card for this, and this is just like taking the leap of faith. This may be like leaving the relationship. This may be joining the 12-step community and getting support and help. This may be starting writing and getting all this up and out in that way. There's definitely, you can't go, it's like no more, can't do this any longer. And you've been feeling this coming, is what it feels like. This completion card in the recent past, Pisces, I feel like now I've been seeing this coming already. I've been like, this is, none of this should be a surprise that's coming ahead. Like it feels like it's another round of something you've already experienced. It's not like a surprise attack. It's like, no, this is the situation. This person is not safe to be around, or I can't do this anymore to myself. Whether it's external or internal, you're done with it, Pisces. And it looks like this is the week where you make a change. You're going to make a big shift, and empower yourself in a new way, regardless of you have support or not. If it feels right inside to hear, it resonates as the right action to take, take it. Again, you can always offer things up that you need clarity around before you go to bed at night, asking for clarity in your dreams. Sometimes it takes staying on that a little while, like repeating that every night to get the insight, get the direction, get the guidance that you're wanting. But you can work with your dreams in that way by programming before you go to bed. I'm going to be receiving guidance tonight. I'm going to be receiving insights around this relationship, around my life in this area, around my job, around my relationship with my children or my parents, or what I need to shift within myself. Like, you can go to bed with that question and see what your dreams are revealing. Sometimes it's an instant answer. Sometimes you have to keep repeating the question several nights in a row, several weeks in a row, until you can start remembering the answers, and seeing how you're being guided. But it's a powerful tool that you can use, and I suggest using it. Okay, so that's all 12 signs. Transits for this week, around healing your relationship with yourself, opening up to love, opening up to greater love within yourself, um, opening up to psychic and spiritual downloads, new structuring of your life, new habits that you might want to, that you feel guided to take, actions that you get in motion in ways that you feel guided. So that's the week ahead. So as we leave the month of March behind by this time next week. So thank you all for your long attention. I really appreciate your support. Peace.